Okay, well, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Some things have changed. A lot of things have changed. So I've apparently got a Passat addiction. Because there's three. There's the fourth one there, and then there's a fifth one back there, and so it's gotten pretty bad. Anyway, basically, I got onto this Passat kick because of this one right here. Now my wife drives an 03 4Motion. It's got the V6. It's an automatic. It's an okay car. It's been great to us, but it's an okay car. Like it's rare compared to a front wheel drive car. Get that tied in. We're gonna need this. Turn all the lights on. Ta-da! And we go. So I'm gonna grab this bad thing. Going back out here to this bit. Okay, so I'm trying to do this one-handed, but as always, it's probably not gonna work. Set that there. Okay, so what I've come to do is loop in the middle. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But grab it as best you can. There you go. Now we're up. Oh, look at that. It's a dead battery right there. Okay, so we come back with this. Hey. All right. So positive. Go to positive. Yeah, I know I'm not putting it on there a lot. These are small clamps. It's a pretty low amperage thing, so it's not important. Oh, the mess. Okay, so we're just gonna hopefully reach in here, grab, get the end. I'm gonna walk outside with it. I don't really care if it gets tangled. I'll untangle it later. Alright, well, this thing didn't want to start a run the other day. Ended up having to jump it with my big box. Oh no, it's the wrong way. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Dang it. This one-handed stuff. It is such a thing. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, she did. So we're gonna put that on the large setting. Oh, I love that sound. Goodness, that's so good. Come on. You know you don't want to be that noisy. Come. Oh, I had it for a second, and then I messed it up. Hey, we got it. All right. So anyway, 8.3 volts. So the alternator on this thing doesn't charge. Thankfully, it's right up top. I'll probably do a little video about it later. It looks like it could have been new at some point, so with it not charging, I'm gonna assume there's probably a fuse or a wire broken or not connected or something, so I'll have to look into that first, because that does look pretty fresh. But anyway, let me step back again and walk over here. Get this nice pole right in the shot. But anyway, this here is my 2004 Passat GLS 4Motion. Now, again, 4Motions are rarer than the front-wheel drive models, but only marginally, and they're not terribly special. But this one, look at that. This one's manual transmission, and yes, that's exactly what that means. This thing is all-wheel drive with a manual transmission. Super, just awesome. Anyway, there's a few things wrong with the car. This front wheel at some point busted and came off on the previous owner, punched a hole in the wheel. caused some kind of damage to the caliper or the wheel bearing. Something somewhere's not happy in that wheel, so I got to fix that. That's where this one comes in. Let me get my shadow out of the shot. This is a 2005 Passat. It's a front-wheel drive. This one is also a manual transmission, so that means the axles for the front end should actually be the exact same. Now, the rear end of this car, the whole rear end, is different from the rear end of this car. This being a front-wheel drive model, the fuel tank's a little further forward, sits in between the two rear wheels. There's some other stuff going on. This one having a rear end, a differential rear end thing, a drive shaft, CV axles, a whole rear sub, structure to support all that. This has a whole different fuel tank, whole different floor pan. Like, this is an Audi in Volkswagen clothing. This is, I think, based off of the A6 more than the A4, but I do think some of the A4 parts are kind of compatible. Anyway, this one is my buddy Will's car, was my buddy Will's car. He unfortunately had someone pull out in front of him, smashed the front end really badly. The frame rails, I'll walk over here real quick. I don't know if you'll be able to tell in the video. You can kind of tell. You can see that frame rail's off that way. That frame rail's kind of going that way too. They're actually supposed to be like right about here and like right on the other side of that fan. So it's got some body damage as well as some frame damage, which is heartbreaking because this car was relatively low mileage, fantastic running and driving car, which is honestly why I'm going to be using so many parts out of it. Thankfully, everything was in running order. The engine was running not long ago. Although we tried to start it to move it the other day. Didn't want to do its thing. Weird, whatever, stupid. But this is going to get some of the suspension off of this one as far as the wheel hub, the front brakes, or whatever I need. I got to figure it out. Probably going to do that this weekend. Make some videos on the whole shebang. Now the motor and trans, since this thing still runs and drives, or ran and drove so well, it's going to come out and it's going to go into this one. Now this one, the motor just sounds terrible when we start it. Doesn't seem to want to build any oil pressure. Don't worry, we've been fairly careful with it. Let's walk past disappointment, get on over here. But I mean, it's got a little bit of body damage. Few little dings here and there, but like largely it's a super clean body. The interior was kind of minty, but this one is also a front wheel drive manual transmission car. So we're just this weekend gonna pull this whole motor and trans combo out. Probably Sunday do some maintenance on it. We're gonna do a timing belt and a water pump on it while it's out of the motor or out of the car. We're going to do a clutch, a couple other things, maintenance, service the transmission fluid, etc., etc., etc. But all that's going to go into that one, and it's going to be great. And then that one, oh, that's a 4Motion wagon with the automatic trans, but it's a 1.8T car, which means with a simple ECM flash, it can very quickly make way more horsepower than the V6 could on stock turbo and bottom end. So that's fine. I ain't worried about this. I'll get to it eventually. The gold one back here, that is a front wheel drive 1.8T automatic. So that one is plain Jane, pedestrian as hell. Don't really care about that. It's for parts. This one. All right. So I still got to give my buddy the money for it before I really start digging into this thing. But look at it. Again, with my big old fat head in the shadow, but is what it is this time of day. But this thing, I'm fairly excited for this. So I think he told me that this was an 88. It's a special order car. Has obviously the blue. I think this was steel blue or something like that. Let me get back. Yeah. And this thing's still filthy. Like, I have not touched it as far as to wipe it off or spray it, or it's just been rained on a couple of times. This is what I was excited about. I really like the pop-up style sunroof. I'm not sure why, but I love it. And you'll notice in there, blue seats. I don't think you can really see it through the glass, but there's a blue dashboard in there. None of that matters to me. This white Mark III over here, I've been hanging on to for years has been hiding a VR6 that I've not pulled and I've not done nothing with, but supposedly ran way over yonder in the shed. I have the transmission for that. The only thing I need now is a slave cylinder line to go from the mastered back to the slave cylinder, and then I can technically take that whole swap, reassemble it, and we've got a VR6 Mark II. Now the beauty of this thing is that it was a special order car. It does have the fuel injection, which means it has the square plug fuse box, which means the VR swap will basically just plug right in. And it'll be happy. There'll be some small things that I need to do for it to run super correctly. I got to bring in a VR6 gauge cluster, which unfortunately, I think the Mark III cluster looks kind of derpy in there. And I don't remember which 16 valve it was that had the vehicle speed sensor that I need in order to make the ECM happy with being in the Mark II, officially. But that'll all come. I'll stuff the Mark III cluster in there for the time being. I'll swap out the harness. I'm largely gonna gut this whole car out, VR6 swap it with a stock VR swap. There's, as far as I know, nothing done to that motor. Stock cams, stock everything's just a really clean motor, was a clean running car. This thing probably could run the way it is. The motor's intact, everything's there. I don't know that I care that much. Like, I might do a video just for funsies to see if it'll run. See if I can coax it into life, because if it will run and I can drive it across the backyard here and there, that'd be kind of cool. But the VR swap in here has just been sitting here, just chilling. I know the hood's all crinkled up, but the car was not in a wreck, actually. That was me. I went to move it with the lawnmower one day, and well, I got a little high up on it somehow, and I hit the hood. But you see the VR6 is tucked down in there. I'm not going to lift the hood. I threw my back out a few days ago on Monday. Today's Friday, so I'm largely getting around pretty well, but I'm still, kind of burnt out on the whole thing. Walking's a chore. But yeah, this thing, it's a real shame it's an automatic. I'm not going to say that it's dead for dead's sake, but it's probably dead. I like the champagne color. I've always kind of had a weird thing for that color. I think it's classy, I guess, and done right with the right wheels and the right color scheme and keeping all the plastics nice and fresh, freshly blacked out. Like, the cars can look incredible with this color, but the ignition is locked on this one, and I've tried forcing the ignition to turn over, and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. It just free spins after a certain point and just won't engage the ignition switch. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place on it, because it is a really straight body, and it would be cool to have it together, because if I could do like a weekend drag car where I strip this thing out and run it down at the track and try different, things on it to make more power until it finally blows up, like, that could be a lot of fun. Worst case scenario, it does have the 1.8T in it, which, with me having so many other 1.8T Passats in the lineup, this is technically just another potentially good motor for me. And then that one is a friend of mine. He sponsored purchasing that car. The VR6 swap that's in it's actually going to go into his Mark IV Jetta at some point. We're all trying to catch up on stuff, but man, I'm really excited for this one. We're going to get after it. You see way over there, Jenny's still around. The Mark III Jetta, Amanda's old Jetta, that's still around. The Jetta's mine again. Hunter is buying Jenny from me. So there's not really much to say about those cars, but man, this thing is, man, I'm glad Tristan's getting this car. Like, Tristan is the reason I have all these Passats technically, him helping me tow everything and him buying this one from me, plus all the parts from whatever to fix it. That's all fine and dandy. Like, that's cool stuff. But like I said, this is the one that started the whole ordeal. And so I am going to do what I can to fix the front hub situation, whatever's going on this weekend. I'm also going to try and sort out the alternator issue this weekend, see what's going on with that. I'm I already have a different set of wheels for this. I'll go ahead and walk over here and show you. I think I also have a set of spacers and everything so that I can space them out the way I want to and get it right. Oh, wouldn't the 20s be sick? That is actually a Passat fender. And it would be ballin'. I mean, just super sweet to be tucking 20s like that. But we're not on that level yet. We're not going that direction. Ah. Damn it. Stay. Fuck yeah. Here we go. Ta-da. It is a Mark 6 GLI wheel. I sold these to a friend years ago. Matter of fact, the friend I sold them to was the one I bought Amanda's Passat from. So that actually originally sold him these wheels for that Passat. And then he put them on it for a while and then took them off and put them on something else for a while and then took them off and now they're mine again. So they are actually going to go on here. And I think because of the dark blue, I think that silver is really going to pop just like these wheels do. Now, these wheels have their use because I do have the full set of 4 of these with the one that has the hole in it. But these have brand new tires on them. So I can figure out a solid good rim set out of all of the different 15s I've got. And I've got a brand new set of wheels, well, tires, to put on one of those sets of wheels so that we've got a spare set laying around all the time for my car, Amanda's car, any of that stuff. We're also going to be doing some videos on this one. This isn't mine. I'd like to be able to acquire it, but it's an automatic 1.8T wagon, and it has massive vacuum leaks. And so I was kind of thinking about doing a video about trying to find the vacuum leaks, what the vacuum leaks were, and what I did to fix them, and so on, whatever. But this one, the 4Motion, I'm so ready for this thing. Once Jenny's gone in August, and she has her tags turned back in, everything will go legal on this one. And so August is when I really need to make sure that this car is ready to drive, so that when Jenny's tags are turned in, well, actually rather I could register this and then transfer the tag, but whatever I ultimately decide to do, this thing is the current focus of the channel for me, for what I want to do right now. I've had fun with Jenny. She's been an amazing car, but these cars are kind of rare. The manual trans 4Motion, it's like a 1 in 10,000 to 50,000 car. By the time Volkswagen realized that there was real demand for this, they were already, shutting down the entire B5 line. So, too little, too late. But I thankfully have one. Now, this one has super high mileage. It's got like 272,000 miles on it, and it's not it's okay. It's okay. But it runs. It actually runs really smooth. Has quite a bit of blow-by, but it runs fantastic for what it actually is. So I'm going to see what I can do to like dump some products in there and maybe gum up the oil a touch to get, I don't know, maybe a little less blow-by happening. And then I'm actually going to try and preserve it for a little while, put a time belt and water pump in it, and see if I can get it to like 300,000 or 400,000. Like, that'd be pretty sick. But eventually, the motor that comes out of this one, and then the motor that's going to come out of that gold one way over there, they're going to, in some combination, go back together and be a lower mileage, freshly, not going to say rebuilt, because I'll probably reuse a lot of stuff, but at least a freshly ringed and, head worked engine. I probably won't do much with the rod bearings remains, just because it doesn't seem necessary on the other car, but we'll see what it is. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I just wanted to kind of bring everybody back along and give the big update of me being a Passat guy now. Now, don't get me wrong, before I close this out, I do want to point out, disappointment is still here and still in a runnable, drivable fashion. I need a radiator, and I need to take the rear brake calipers off that there Mark IV way over there at the VR6 swap, and I need to put them on this so that I have my parking brake again, and then radiator, parking brake, and exhaust, because it's incredibly, just insanely loud right now. And then the Mark II Jetta, my wife's cousin Andrew is going to be getting. So we're going to be doing some fun stuff with that at some point too. I actually think the motor out of the Black Mark III is going to go in there for a while just to get this thing started back up and running and driving. And then, you know, we're going to be trying to find a nice diesel swap for it. If we can find a Mark IV 19, sick. But yeah, disappointment still exists. Still super raw looking. Still awesome. Love it. Still on the list of shit to get done, but it's on the back burner because, you know, it's always been on the back burner. This thing though, this thing deserves to see the light of day more. This thing deserves to have more miles put on it. Like, look at this. Look at that there. And let's walk over here real fast and open this here door. Look at the interior. Now, I don't really care about the wood grain stickers that Volkswagen put all over these things. I don't even know that Volkswagen did this. This looks like it could have been one of the aftermarket kits because my wife's car actually has wood grain and it's different. But the seat's pretty good shape. Like, interior's in pretty good shape. There's no there's no cracks on the dash at all. All the pieces and panels are here. The handles are intact, attached. Like, the previous owner was a younger kid, and his parents taught him how to take care of his stuff well. Like, this thing, being high mileage, God, it's just so clean. Like, also has a sunroof. I like sunroof. I don't use it, but I like it. But just, Now imagine that it's a little bit lower and little bit wheels, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. I love this thing. Anyway, if you've suffered through 23 minutes of me talking about my junk, thank you. I greatly appreciate the support. I'm gonna try and get back into this. I know I keep lying to myself about stuff, but it's just kind of one of them things where I get motivated on certain days and then other days I don't. And on the days I'm motivated, typically something comes up and I can't really get out here. And if I can, it's for an emergency, and it's not something that I have the time to stop and record. But considering that we know that we're doing all this motor stuff on these two Passats, and I'm going to be doing all the repairs that I need to do on this thing, I have content. I need to, you know, really get after recording and posting, and of course you see all the mess of everything everywhere. Like, yeah. If anybody's local to North Carolina and is a Savory character, you want to come help clean up for no money, let me know. I need all the free labor I can get. But on that note, thank you for, you know, sticking around for this long. I appreciate it. I hope you guys like the videos. I hope you like the voices and stuff, because I'm kind of a weirdo. I do random accents every now and again. That's not very common for, you know, me to talk normal for very long. I like a change of voices. It's nice. But anyway, as it stands, we got all this crap to go on, and hopefully we'll have a lot more, you know, here soon, and give some actual, like, watch-worthy content for once. Because I know normally this is what you get. I look around at the camera, I talk about things, and it's like, oh, look, he's pointing at stuff, and blah, blah, blah. It's so entertaining, but it's not. It's not. I know it's not. But I don't have much more than that, and really, the cleanup of the barn is going to be a really boring video as well. Like, I just kind of don't really have anything to show right now until we actually start going after this thing this afternoon. So this is going to be the state of the channel video, and I think from here we're gonna start showing, you know, our progress with these here Passats. Well, thanks again. Really appreciate it. And I hope y'all have a great day. Have a good one. Bye-bye.